Hello everybody, it's John Control back here again with another video, and today I bring you a new segment to my channel. Seeing as how this year is coming to a close, I decided just to test the waters and see what you guys personally think with a new segment that I want to start on my channel, and that is of course titled Who Would Win Battles. I've been wanting to do versus matches for a while now, and I actually tried to do one like a couple months back, but seeing as how I didn't really have a good formula. And and whenever there comes a time, I don't know about anybody else, but when there comes a time with my, video making, and I hit a wall, and I continue recording the same thing over and over again, I usually just, it's just a good time to scrap it and just possibly do it another time in the distant future. So I decided just to not do it at that moment in time and just, do it again later on. And here I am. I'm just going to test the waters. It is pretty much the end of the year, so this will be the first episode to my versus matches, and then I'll do more in the following year, most likely in January, so it won't be that long. But anyways, today I'll be doing my first ever episode of my Who Would Win battles, and today I decided to do something a little smaller scale because I know usually with people on YouTube who like to do versus matches, they like to start big and oh, let's have freaking Batman versus Spider-Man, Goku versus Superman, freaking Vegeta versus the Incredible Hulk, those are good versus matches that I love to talk about, but, I just want to start small and then work my way up to those really big matches that I'd like to talk about. But today I'll be doing my versus matches of who would win in a battle against the Great Ape versus the Titans. Yes, today I'll be doing Attack on Titan versus Dragon Ball Z. So let's get this party started. First off, I will be doing, my thesis on both characters, giving you their powers and abilities, their strategic, value, their combat skills, and then I will be moving off of that into how I believe the battle will go down, and then I'll give you my personal thoughts on who would win overall, and of course, open up the overall question of the video is that who do you think would win between a battle? But anyways, let's get started. Seeing as how I'm already a big Dragon Ball Z fan, you guys already know that. Let's start off with the Titans. And for the Titans, I'll be using Eren Yeager from the Attack on Titan series. I will not be using the Armored Titan or the Colossal Titan. Not because I think they're too much of a threat or powerful. It's just that I don't really know a lot about them. And seeing as how I haven't really read up on the manga as of yet, I really don't know what their exact powers and abilities are compared to Eren and the rest of the Titans, and of course the female Titan, So let's get started. First off with Eren. He's of course a very skilled martial artist. He's of course trained to enhance his physical strength. He's obviously very good and diverse with his skills using the grappling technology that they have in this series, and of course he's also very well done overall, physical threat to anybody. Of course there's multiple characters within the Attack on Titan series that are possibly stronger and better than him, like Levi or Mikasa. Of course there's multiple characters, but he's of course definitely very highly skilled between other human characters on the series. And of course, there's one thing that definitely amplifies Eren's abilities, and that is, of course, his ability to transform into a Titan. Yes, Eren, amongst other abnormal characters in Attack on Titan, has the ability to transform into a Titan. And of course, the Titans, as we all know, have extremely powerful abilities. They also have regeneration abilities, which basically means that at any time when their bodies become demolished or destroyed, the Titan form begins to regenerate the open wound. Just basically think of Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. When he gets his arm cut off, it basically just grows back like a lizard. So essentially that's what the Titans are capable of doing. They're able to regenerate any part of their bodies. And of course the Titan form enhances Eren's strength. So of course if Eren is already a very skilled martial artist, the Titan form basically enhances that to great levels, and of course enhances his endurance and his ability to take on other opponents in the series. And of course he's also just hands down a very good, well-rounded fighter. He's good in combat. He's obviously good under pressure. And of course his overall, ability and incapability of seeing people that he loves being hurt, obviously triggers him to do better. Even though it does get him in trouble sometimes, of course there's multiple chances where, scenarios rather, where obviously Eren, when he's under pressure and of course is incapable of defeating his opponent, definitely goes on a rager and doesn't really prove anything. He just gets beaten again. And also, the Titans aren't really that powerful. The Titans, even though they are very strong in comparison to the humans on Attack on Titan, they're not really that powerful in comparison to other, various other beings in the anime universe, if you will. For instance, they may be very strong and powerful physically, but they're not really that, durable. Their bodies, even though they have the ability to regenerate, they're very, vulnerable. They're just incapable of taking hits. Every time Eren or a Titan just demolishes something, their arms explodes. His freaking jaw comes off. He just gets pierced and pierced. And the other sad thing about the Titans is that they have major weaknesses. Of course, with regular Titans, the back of their necks, when it's cut, of course, basically makes them useless and they're pretty much dead at that point. For Eren and other abnormal Titans like him, like the female Titan, essentially, all you would have to do is just demolish their bodies and just essentially grab Eren out of the Titan body and just kill him right there. It's pretty easy. And it's the only weakness that he pretty much has. If the Titans were incapable of being demolished like they are with their bodies, I think they explain it on the anime where it's very strange that they're so powerful and endurable, and they have this regeneration ability, but at the same time they're so invulnerable that they can just take anything, and once they're cut, pretty much their entire body is just useless at that point. So that's pretty much their major weaknesses. But overall, Eren, as in his human form or in Titan form, he's definitely a great fighter. He's also a well-rounded grappler, and obviously, he's just very well done in combat. And he's also proven to be a major threat to other Titans. So, but anyways, let's move off of that and go into the Great Ape. You already know, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, as I'm pretty sure most of my subscribers and viewers are, then you pretty much know everything there is to know about the Great Apes. For the sake of this argument, I will not be including the GT version of the Great Apes, because if I did use the GT version, then Eren and any other Titan in the Attack on Titan universe would have zero chance to win. But then again, let's get started. First off, the Great Apes, I'm going to be using the Elite Saiyan version because obviously they're the superior version, and it doesn't really matter. You can use either version you want to use because, whether you're using like Gohan or Goku's version of the Great Apes, or Vegeta, or an Elite Saiyan's version, they pretty much have the same abilities. The only thing that differs between Gohan and Vegeta's version of the Great Ape is that Gohan is incapable of thinking straight. He's obviously lost his humanity, and of course is going on a full-on ape rage. So of course that's the difference. Vegeta, on the other hand, and other Elite Saiyans like him, are fully capable of hindering their mental capacity. They're obviously capable of comprehending what they're doing in the exact moment. And of course, Vegeta has the ability to speak through his transformed state. So of course, I'm just going to go with Vegeta because it's just easier to use him. So overall, the Great Ape basically has all the same abilities as the Saiyan does in his normal base form. They have the ability to fight, they also have the ability to use Ki Blasts, and also have the ability to fly. And also, their major superiority and power and ability is, of course, to fire out overwhelmingly powerful Ki Blasts from their freaking mouths. So, of course, that's one of their biggest power, and most of it is usually used to, obviously, as stated by Vegeta, the Great Ape form and that ability specifically are used to destroy civilizations and planets. So overall, the Great Ape is pretty much indestructible. Their bodies are pretty much indestructible. The only weakness that the Great Ape has, and the only way Eren or any other Titan has to defeat the Great Ape, is of course cutting out their tails. Their tails are pretty much the only weakness that any Saiyan has in the series. Overall, if Eren or any other Titan is capable of cutting out the tail, pretty much the Great Ape is pretty much useless. But then again, that doesn't really count anyways, because even if they were capable of cutting out the tail of the Great Ape, you still have to deal with the Saiyan, you know, especially if you're dealing with Vegeta. If you're dealing with Gohan or like Kid Goku, then that's a different story. Gohan will be immediately knocked out, and all Eren would have to do is just squash him like a bug. But if we're dealing with Vegeta, Vegeta will exactly go back to his normal base form and just be super pissed off and obviously want to kill Eren for cutting off his tail. So pretty much that's the overall stasis. And then again, once again, unlike the Titans, Great Ape's endurance and overall power is superior to the Titans. Of course, there's nothing that can pierce his skin. Unlike the Titans, like I stated, they're durable, but at the same time, their bodies are rendered useless after being cut by anything. Like, just when you see the Titans fight together, their bodies just fall apart. The Great Apes, their bodies don't fall apart. They're so powerful and indestructible. No other kind of weapon can be used to cut and pierce their skin, as shown throughout the series. You know, even in their normal base form, you can shoot bullets and hit, you know, axes at Goku's head, and they break. You know, that's pretty much the general gist. But at the same time, there is one weapon in the Dragon Ball universe that could be used to obviously cut the Saiyan's body, and that is, of course, Yajirobe's samurai sword. If you all know, based off the anime, Yajirobe uses his samurai sword to cut Vegeta's tail, and also uses it to attack Vegeta, and it actually pierces through his Saiyan armor and cuts his body. So, if Eren or any other Attack on Titan character had the ability to use the overall Yajirobe's samurai sword and was capable of catching Vegeta off guard, they could do some serious damage to his body. But overall, that's pretty much my guess. But let's get into the battle overall. Let's say it's Vegeta in his Great Ape form versus Eren in his Titan form. I would guess that, first off, Vegeta, just out of the pure pride, Saiyan pride that he has, would spar against Eren, and they would go toe-to-toe in a combat match. I find it highly unlikely that Vegeta would, or the Great Ape, whichever you want to go with, would find it difficult to defeat Eren. I'm pretty sure the Great Ape would find a way. Also, Eren's Titan form would be able to take most of the damage and then mostly regenerate any type of fallen body parts that he would lose in the fight. But overall, I think Great Ape would win. The Great Ape is 10 times more superior. Their combat skills are far superior to any other character in Attack on Titan. And of course, they have the ability to use Ki Blasts. All the Great Ape would have to do, as stated before in this video, is that all that Vegeta or the Great Ape would have to do is grab Eren's body in the Titan form, destroy it, rip it apart, grab his other body, and just Ki Blast him, or squash him like a bug. Or, the other thing that the Eren could do is, of course, cut off his tail, which I'm pretty sure Eren would be capable of doing, and if he had the help of other characters like Mikasa or Eren or Levi or any other character like that, I'm pretty sure they would be overall capable of having Eren distract the Great Ape, cutting off the tail, and then just having to deal with Vegeta in his base form. But if we're dealing with Vegeta in his base form, even at that, they still could not beat him. Obviously, Vegeta in his base form is far superior to any other Attack on Titan character. But if you were dealing with Gohan or a Kid Goku, all they would have to do is cut off the tail, grab Gohan or Goku while they're passed out, and just squash them like a bug. That's pretty much how I think a fight would go. But if we're dealing with Vegeta, Vegeta in his Great Ape form would win, and that's who I'm going for. Eren would not be able to take the heat of the power of the Great Ape, and I go for any other Titan character. Like the female Titan would definitely have a physical chance, but would lose overall. The Armored Titan, I don't know that much about him, but I'm pretty sure he would lose as well. I'm pretty sure the Great Ape would find a way, especially with his Ki Blast. And the Colossal Titan, once again, I still don't know all about his powers and abilities, but even at that, I find it very I find it impossible that the Great Ape would lose. It would be a good match, but I find it hard to lose. But in my personal opinion, if I had to face off these two characters, Eren in his Titan form or Vegeta in his Great Ape form, and they fought against each other, I'm going full-on Vegeta in his Great Ape form. The Great Ape would win hands down, and that's even if you were dealing with a regular Great Ape, you know, Saiyan without his, who's lost his mentality in the fight, in the Great Ape transformation, I still would believe would win. But you never know. If we had Eren with his friends tagging along just against the Great Ape, then the Great Ape would lose. But then again, it is a real interesting match to go off for. But anyways, I think I'm going to end it here. I go for the Great Ape, but then again, that's not me trying to be biased. I'm pretty sure most people are going to be like, oh, you're biased, you're a Dragon Ball Z bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not true. I love Attack on Titan 2. It's a pretty good anime. I've been, obviously, getting more into it as of late, and one of the biggest things that I wanted to make clear for the majority of this video and future versus videos is that I'm not trying to be biased. I like obviously I go more towards the Great Ape, but that doesn't mean there's a character in the anime universe that could beat the Great Ape. I'm pretty sure there's multiple ones, but at the same time, it's just really hard, you know, to just find another capable being that could beat him. You know, it's just hard, you know, but overall, the Titans, I would think, would definitely be a good, interesting match, but the Great Ape would win overall, I'm pretty sure. But in the comment section below, let me know what you personally think. What do you think about my versus matches? What do you think about the team up between the Great Ape and the Titans? Who do you think would win overall, the Great Ape from the Dragon Ball series or the Titans from the Attack on Titan series? I personally go with the Great Ape, and that's not me being trying to be biased, but I personally think that they would win overall. They're just superior fighters, whether it's in their base form or in their Great Ape form, and they just have one thing. They have one thing that Titans can never do, and that's, of course, shooting out powerful Ki blasts from their mouths, you know, and just be thankful that I didn't use the GT version, because if I used the Golden Great Apes, then they would really be fucked. But anyways, overall, I go more towards Great Ape. Great Ape wins this match. But let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. Who do you think overall wins? And I will be returning for more battles in the future. Just as a tease, just for you guys to know, my next versus match that will be coming out possibly in January. I might put it out earlier than that, maybe at the end of this month, but most likely will be coming out basically in January. My next versus match will be, of course, Ichigo from the Bleach series versus Yusuke from the Yu Yu Hakusho series. So, of course, I hope you guys are interested in that one, which will be my next versus match. But overall, this is my new segment. Let me know what you personally thought about it. Once again, not trying to be biased, so don't, you know, try to play that with me in the freaking comment section. But I'm pretty sure there's tons of Titans fans, and there's tons of Dragon Ball fans that want to debate this, so let me know what you personally think, of course. And of course, if I said anything or did anything wrong or didn't give the full stats of any other character, just let me know, of course, in the comment section below. And just let me know what you personally think. Who do you think would win? The Great Ape versus the Titans versus the Great Apes. Who do you think would win? I say the Great Apes would win overall, but let me know what you personally think. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And of course, also in the comment section below, let me know what your personal thoughts on Ichigo versus Yusuke. Who do you think would win? And let me know what you personally think, so I can give you my overall thoughts in that video next time. But anyways, that's going to be it for this the first episode of my versus matches, who would win battles. And that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.